I see you, Constance Woo. I don't see it in there, so I don't know what's going on, but I don't have anybody else set up to be moderators. Y'all can't hear me? Y'all can't hear me? Can y'all hear me? Silence says she can. Can's color box says they can't. Constance Woo say they can't. What about now? What about now? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Man, God damn it. Can y'all hear me? Refresh your... Okay, all right. I've been trying to get up on here for, I don't know, since the last time I saw y'all when I was at the park. And I'm just exhausted. Like right now, I barely have the energy to talk, I'll be honest. It's it's not good. What in the fuck? All right, Constance Woo Woo, you might need to refresh your page or something because everybody else is saying they can hear me. Can everybody hear me? Mm. Okay. Daniela is saying the sound is muted again, and then people are saying, yes, I can hear you. So those of you who cannot hear me, you need to refresh your page or something, because there's more people saying they can hear me than not. I don't know what's going on. Thank you, Cans Color Box. I see you. Yeah, I don't, it's what it is. I have to be out of here. And son of a bitch. Why would this be acting up? This don't never act up. Trying to figure out what's going on with the sound, because there's several of you saying, okay. Mm. Okay. I'm at my wit's end. I'm done. I don't know. I had spent so much time this week. I had court. I had my last court date yesterday, and so I have to be out of here. I have to be out of my home, and I'm daunted. I'm overwhelmed. I have so much stuff. I have so many things, and I'd spent from the last time I'd talked to you guys, I think, which was Tuesday, maybe. I'd spent so much time trying to quote create a miracle. You know what I'm saying? Go into different organizations. You know, calling churches, calling organizations that could advocate for me, at least to give me enough time to move without fucking panicking or being put out on the side of the road. I spent days doing that shit with the certainty from everybody that yes, this organization will be able to help you for sure. They'll be able to advocate for you. They'll be able to advocate to get you more time. They'll be child. I spent all the way up until maybe yesterday at 2 o'clock. Yeah, it was about yesterday at 2 o'clock when I finally threw my hands up. I said, I'm not making any more calls. I'm not going to any more places. I went, and they be so tight-lipped too about resources. I remember this thing that my daughter got when she and the babies were here, and it's like, and that's what I was telling my mom, right? Because we were like, okay, if this thing works out, then it'll give me some wiggle room so I can figure out my next move. And my daughter was here when she was, escaping her DV situation. They gave her Medi-Cal. Medi-Cal is like California's medical system, medical thing, but they gave her emergency housing money. You can only get it one time. You can only access it one time. It's $6,000, and it's supposed to be enough to either put you up in a hotel or an Airbnb, or like while you transition so you don't end up on the street, or to get you enough to make a down payment for a deposit, $6,000, right? And I went because the woman that reminded me about it, who works for DPSS, she works for social services, was like, yeah, they don't be just announcing that, but it's a program through Medi-Cal and you need to go get it. So I went down to Medi-Cal on Thursday. First of all, I'm walking around in a daze. I am overwhelmed. I am fucking disgusted. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. And so I was like, all right, if this thing works out, then at least it'll get me enough time to like slowly move, pack my things, so I'm not having to pack in a state of crisis. And I shouldn't even be doing this live. That's how bad it is. I mean, y'all still see, like, all my books are still here. Not just these, those. I got 6 goddamn bookshelves, 7 goddamn bookshelves of books. That's not even a quarter of the things that I have. And I don't even have anywhere to go after this. I don't have anywhere set up to go after this. So I talked to my mom, and I was like, I guess I'm coming home, which is the last thing in the absolute entirety of the universe I want to do. It is the last thing in the entirety of the universe I want to do. It's just been a mess. It's been an absolute I feel like I'm having an out of body experience. It is an absolute unbelievable fucking place to be at 50 years old. So anyway, I'm not gonna stay on here long because I still have to try to pull off this miracle of packing up 6 years of my life, so that these motherfuckers don't put my life on the side of the road. And then yeah. And I went to the mayor's office after I left the courthouse yesterday. And I must have, but I just want y'all to know, like, everything about this is so. Let me tell you something. I went to this place yesterday that this woman was telling me about. It's supposed to be a help center in Skid Row. And I hadn't been down to Skid Row in a long time. I used to volunteer down there. And I volunteered down there 5 days a week for almost a year. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? I volunteered in Skid Row 5 days a week, 4 hours a day for a year. Sure did. And I haven't been back down there since I stopped volunteering down there. And between being in that courtroom yesterday, between being at that courthouse yesterday, and going down there to Skid Row yesterday, it was a lot yesterday. It was a lot. It's been a lot the last week. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. It's been a lot, man. Not just my life. That's what I'm saying. Not just my life. It's like I Like, what in the absolute fuck is going on? Oh, girl, let me just thank you for reeling me back. So yes, so I went down to the Medicaid office on Thursday because the Medi-Cal office on Thursday because this woman who works for DPSS was like, go down there and talk to the people at Medi-Cal and tell them about the program. Tell them what you need. I need because it's there. It is a program that is there. They are tight-lipped about it, but it is there. It's $6,000 flat to get this once in a lifetime emergency housing assistance. It is to either prevent you from becoming homeless, to get you a Airbnb or a hotel room until you can secure housing, or for the down payment for a place. So I go out there. That's what I wanted to say. Oh, I waited in that line. I got there at I got there at noon to wait in what I already knew was gonna be a line. If you go at 7 o'clock in the morning, place don't open till 8. But if you go at 7 o'clock in the morning, there's already a line wrapped around the building. I was like, I ain't gonna wait. I'm gonna go. But I went at I went at noon. I went up there at noon. The line was long, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna just wait out here and go on, and because if they got $6,000, it'll be worth the wait. I waited out in that line it was like 12:32 when I pulled up. I waited in that line from 12:32 to 3:45. 3:45. 3:45. Do you hear me? When I finally, because they were only letting one person in the building at a time. So I'm like, okay, there must be something happening with the building that they're only letting people in one at a time. I walked into that goddamn building. The building is enormous. The waiting space inside the building could have easily fit everybody that was outside and then some. There were 40 empty chairs inside the building, and they're letting people in one person at a time. And it was 100 degrees outside yesterday. So you're waiting outside by a building that has no shade. I'm like, this city generates $86 million a day. Y'all can't buy some little cheap $40, $30 pop-up tents and line them up so people can wait under the tents. So we waited for 3 hours in that line, person after for us to go inside and there be 40 empty chairs in this air-conditioned building. I was like, oh my God, there are no trash cans along the way. So there is just shit piled a mile high on the fucking road. The level of disdain for people who need help in this city is literally genocidal, y'all. It's gruesome. It's gruesome. It's gruesome. It's so malevolent. It's so monstrous. It's so diabolical. The level of disdain. Like, how many ways can we tell you we fucking hate you? Though we need your poverty in order for these monies to keep coming into this damn city. And so I wait in that line for 3 fucking hours for this black woman and this Mexican woman to tell me, we don't know what the hell you're talking about. I said, am I in the right office? This is Medi-Cal. This is Medi-Cal, yeah. I said, well, how you don't know what I'm talking about? When another woman from DPSS on the other side of the city said, they lying. I'm texting the woman on the phone. This woman called me. I called this church yesterday, this like agape church, or the day before yesterday, and explained my situation. And the guy on the phone was like, we don't do anything like that here, but I got a friend. She said, baby, the brother say, I got a friend. Do you mind if I have your contact information? Because my friend work in social services. My friend is gonna call you. I'm gonna give you my friend number. I'm gonna give your number to my friend. She gonna call you. She gonna get you right. This sister called my phone from DPSS. She gave me a whole plethora of freaking people to contact in different areas of service in the city with their personal names, their extension numbers, places I needed to go right away. And I'm texting her on the phone while I'm talking to the negress and the Mexican chick who looking at me like I lost my mind. I ain't heard of no nothing like that. But you know what? I could be wrong. What? I could be wrong. Can you hold on, please? Let me go see if I can find somebody else, because I could be wrong. I said, the supervisor come out, the black lady. Baby, we don't know what you're talking about. And I would know about something like this. I said, look, this sister, her name is this and that and this and that, who works for DPS on Santa Monica Boulevard, this and this and this and this, is the one who said I specifically needed to come to this office and tell y'all this, and this, because I need this money to bridge a gap so I can, because I'm going to tell y'all, what had happened was, and the reason I was going to get this $6,000 was because my mom was like, look, and I hate it even. I think the hardest thing for me to do was to call my mom, man. That was of all of this shit, that was the hardest thing to do. And so I called her finally after I got off that live with y'all. She called me. And she said, look, I know what kind of energy, I know what kind of work you've put into your home. I have a home here. This is not like, I do not live in places like people live in places. I'm not a minimalist. You feel me? There's a lot of people who can pack up everything they fucking own. I'm not joking. It's crazy to me, but can pack up everything they own in a day, pack it up into a truck, and bloop, be right out. That is not me. When I tell you, I am fucking overwhelmed by what I am being forced to do. What I am being forced to do. If y'all saw my place, I have 2 bedrooms. If y'all saw my place, I'd be like, this is impossible. How the fuck are you gonna do this? This is impossible. This is impossible. So my mom called me. She was like, look, I know how you feel about your home. I know how much you put in. My babies lived here. My baby's energy is all over here. My daughter, my grandchildren, their energy is all over. I love this place. But what they're saying is you can't fall on no hard times. If you can't fall on hard times, you can't. Do you know that within the last 2 years, because I started getting really behind. I started getting behind last June. I was still paying something every month. I was still paying $100 to $1,500 every month, so I wasn't asked out. That's the other thing I'll say. This shit is so disgusting because when I finally reached out to the city to help me, my back rent was manageable. When I finally reached out to the city for help, at that time, my back rent was manageable. I was behind $5,000 in rent. $5,000 I was behind in rent. That was it. And that's when I started looking for help. When I finally got to this dude's office, who is the city, it was still manageable. I just needed help to get my bearings back straight. It was $9,000 that it was $9,000 that I was behind in back rent. The programs out here were purporting because people were still coming off of the fire shit. And the help, the help that people, that these organizations were offering to the majority of people in this city was up to $15,000. I was like, okay, well, I don't need that. I don't need that. I just need, in the beginning, I just need $5,000. I just need $5,000. You feel me? Then I got to the city. I was like, okay, it's gone on a little longer. So now I need $9,000 to get me caught back up, so that the $1,000, the $1,500 don't feel like I'm pissing in the wind. Don't feel like I'm pissing in the wind. You know what I'm saying? And so my mom was like, look, if you can get this $6,000, and at the time I had like $3,000, and she said, if you can get the $6,000 from the city, then I'll just have to do what I have to do. She's like, if I have to, my mama was talking about taking out a second mortgage on her house to help me stay in my home. I was like, Mama, you cannot do that. She said, baby, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I was like, I don't know, but taking out a second mortgage on your house for $11,000, how the hell can you do that? My mom was still in recovery. God damn it. So I was like, all right. So I went to court. I went to this place. They act like I was speaking goddamn Cantonese or some shit. And it was like, we don't know what you're talking about. Those $6,000 to help, the one time $6,000 to help you stay housed. I called there's a program. I'd already called 3 times. I already knew what was going to happen. But they have this thing called the Mayor's Emergency Fund Hotline. The Mayor's Emergency Fund Hotline. This is the first time they said this, though. It's supposed to be emergency funds for extenuating circumstances so that you don't end up on the street. I called the mayor's office after I left the mayor's office. I went to the mayor's office. I went to the city controller's office. First of all, these ain't random motherfuckers. I know the mayor. I know Karen Bass. I have met her several times. We have talked personally. I know this bitch. The city controller, I know him. It ain't like, I mean, I told y'all I ran this white woman's campaign. I met all of them. All of these city officials. I know almost Hugo Soto Martinez, whose office I was working with. I know all of them. Went to the city controller's office. I know him very well. I said, no wonder. Do you know? I said, I was in the mayor's office yesterday cutting the fuck up, y'all. I said, do I need to bring a goddamn demonstration up in this bitch, in this giant ass building that is empty, that look like a goddamn mausoleum? Do I just need to run 30 motherfuckers up through here to just start making all kind of noise? What the fuck is happening here? The goddamn little old, he's so old, he bent over. Little security guard bent over. He was like, ma'am, just calm down. Just calm the fuck down. Calm down. I've been all over this goddamn city for the last 4 days. What do you mean, calm down? What do you mean, calm down? I said, is this ethnic cleansing in this bitch? I said, what the fuck is going on? What is happening here? All of this girl, Karen Bass, been bragging all these fucking years about, look at this great shit we doing for the homeless people. Use a motherfucking lie. And let me tell you what that lie looks like. Why would I say this is ethnic cleansing? Y'all, I done told y'all. I continue to say this, and people continue to look at me like I'm stupid or like I'm making some shit up. And so because it sounds so outrageous, I must just be a crazy bitch. Because it sounds so unbelievable and insane, I must just be talking out the side of my head. I have told this shit. I have told this shit to the city controller. I have told this shit to the bitch whose campaign I ran against Karen Bass 4 years ago. I done told this to here. The city controller is the chief statistician, the chief auditor, the chief economic advisor of the fucking city. This kid, he is a whiz at finding, because I think he a decent dude. I voted for him, and y'all know I don't vote. I voted for him because I was like, this kid trying to go up in here and set it off. Let's go. This dude is the chief statistician. He be going up in there and finding all the ways this city done deliberately messed with the money to deny people access to the money. He will put whole billboards up in the city about how you are being robbed as a citizen of Los Angeles. Then why would you look at me like I'm fucking crazy when I tell you that this city has exploited your hatred for Black people so that it can strategically and slowly, insidiously, and almost invisibly disappear 650,000 goddamn Black people in the city limits of this city? But I'm stupid. I'm crazy. That can't possibly be. How can I, instead of y'all default, and y'all know I'm not talking about y'all, but the default is if it comes from the mouth of a Black woman, just ignore it. Don't say, damn, that sounds crazy. Let me prove the Black bitch wrong. That's not your position. And it's not just me. I'm sitting here watching women all week talk about this crazy shit. This, oh my God, I can't believe this happened over here. I can't believe this happened over there. I can't believe this happened in Mississippi. And instead of saying, this sounds insane, she must be crazy, let me find the stats to prove her wrong. Let me find the evidence to prove her wrong. You just ignore what we're saying because it's coming from Black women. These people who claim to be so progressive everywhere, instead of saying this shit that Black women are perpetually talking about has got to be fake. It can't happen in the United States of America. So let us collect the information to prove these crazy bitches wrong. And instead of doing that, you will just ignore what we say. They have disappeared 600,000 people, 650,000 people, Black folks from this city. Don't 650,000 Black people just get up and move. And that's the other thing. Every time I say that shit, well, where did they all go? Did they just move? Are you fucking crazy? Are you stupid? Let 30,000 white people fucking leave this city in less than 20 years. Let 45,000 people, white folks, leave this city in 20 fucking years, which is how long it took for them to disappear. Over 500,000 Black people from this city. The goddamn Black population, they keep saying is 12%. Y'all's a lie, first of all. I don't know why y'all be stuck on that goddamn 12% everywhere in the country. Y'all's a lie. Y'all's a lie. Girl, let me tell you something. After I left the courthouse yesterday, after I left Karen Bass's office yesterday, after I left the city controller's office yesterday, disgusted. Let me tell you something else. I was at the courthouse. I was like, this has got to be, my situation has got to be extenuating circumstances. This cannot be happening to everybody because this shit sound crazy. That to be promised over and over and over and over and over again, we have these resources for you. All the way up until the week of your court date, we got this money. And then tell my motherfucking landlord there ain't no resources, there ain't no funds? Since February. I said, there's got to be extenuating circumstances. There's got to be extenuating circumstances. There's got to be extenuating circumstances. It can't, this is just me. It's just the look of my draw. That's all. How I go to court yesterday. And these rotten, scoundrel, malignant, tyrannical fucking lawyers. Yes, these Jewish ass cracker lawyers. Yes, I said what the fuck I said. I was so disgusted yesterday. They are so nasty. So nasty. This hall is so big. Everybody's life is on display. Like a goddamn auction block. Everybody's life is on display. And I told y'all, every time I've gone there, the only white folks I see up in there are lawyers. That's it. Everybody else that's up in there is black, is predominantly black and Latino. That's it. And old. Black or Latino, but still, or old and black and Latino. That's it. I can't believe how many goddamn people. I saw a brother up in there yesterday, y'all. I said, what the fuck is happening in this world? God damn it. This brother, y'all, I'm telling you, he didn't look 35. He didn't look 35 years old. Was in a wheelchair. He was a double amputee. He couldn't have been 35. So, he couldn't, this young man could not have been 35. I'm giving him age just because he was so worn out. He was a double amputee. One leg was removed above the knee. The other leg hit, all of his toes were gone. I am sitting there like, is anybody looking at this shit as normal? And this man is fighting to stay housed? Oh my God. And his lawyer is standing above him. This motherfucker won't even have the decency to sit on the bench beside the man so he can look him in the eye face to face. This lawyer standing above him, talking to him loud so everybody can hear this man's business, talking to this man like he was a goddamn child, like he was stupid. What are the goddamn chances? And there wasn't as many people at the courthouse yesterday because it was Friday. That's the only reason I can imagine there wasn't as many people in the courthouse, because usually that motherfucker is packed. Oh my God, it's obscene. But yesterday, I was in and out of there relatively quick. I was there for about 2 hours. What are the chances? Because again, these lawyers fucking hate you. And so they just talk so loud so that everybody can hear your business. What are the chances that the person that was set to go in front of me and the person that was set to go behind me, one was a brother, a young brother, not the one I was telling y'all about. One was a young brother and one was a woman. She looked like she might be a little younger than me, but maybe, 40, 45, something like that. What are the chances that I hear them talking and I'm telling you like a fucking full on script? The exact thing that happened to me is the exact thing that happened to them. I heard the fucking lawyers, the young brother's lawyers go huddle, but still talking all out so everybody can hear these motherfuckers' business. So the brother say he gonna go to the bathroom. So this Asian lawyer and this old nasty fucking bitch cracker fucking lawyer are talking to each other. The young Asian lawyer is like, look, there's got to be something that we can work out, because I guess the young brother was waiting for his disability to come through. You feel me? He's like, I've already been approved for disability. I had been approved for housing. I've gone through the whole process. I can show you right now on my phone how my housing request has been approved. I just need a little time for them to cut the check. The old white woman, after the brother go to the bathroom. Yeah, I hear this shit, but it's been almost a year since he's paid anything on his rent. Who even lives like that? Not how the fuck housing takes so long to process for a city with 65,000 goddamn street homeless people. No, why with this city getting the kind of resources that it gets to take care of And y'all ain't doing no motherfucking body no favors, bitch. Everybody in this city, including the homeless, pay taxes. 10.25% taxes in this city. Everybody in this city fucking pay taxes. Y'all ain't doing nobody no motherfucking favors. Y'all are doing your fucking job. That's what you're doing. Everybody in this city pays 10.25% taxes, sales taxes on everything in this goddamn city. So you're not doing, plus the CBDG funds, the community development block grant money, that the free money from the government that comes to every goddamn state to address blight. They take the statistics of blight and homelessness to petition the country for fucking the money to resolve the blight, but somehow the blight never gets resolved. That's the setup with CBDG funds. Those funds end up going into the hands of fucking private developers who put board members on the boards of nonprofit organizations so they can funnel these CBDG funds back into their own personal fucking development projects. I'm mad because I know this shit. These young people, the fucking sister was sobbing. I'm out. I'm out of tears. My ducks are bled the fuck out. This is a goddamn travesty that I am confronted with. This is a travesty that I am confronted with. You understand? And even trying to do work around here, I wasn't relying on this. I've been gig working, you know what I'm saying? Apps here and there. I got like 4 different dumbass apps in my phone so I could pick up a little thing over here or pick up a little thing over there. I am 50. So first of all, it's humiliating. It's demoralizing. You know what I'm saying? And plus, there's just been so much. Oh God, I'm having deja vu so hard. Holy fuck. Oh. God damn. Oh my God. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. I saw it coming. Oh, my God. Ooh. Oh. Yo. Shit. Man, goddamn. Shit. I saw this woman she could barely talk. She said the same thing. How do you do everything right? That's what she said. How do you do everything when she was talking to this judge? How do you do everything right? How do you do everything right? And this is what it turns out to be. She said, I did everything right. I did everything y'all said to do. I did everything right. And you're telling me I have 3 days to move my whole life? She said, yeah, I've got some boxes packed, but like 3 days? I did everything right. I did everything right. So because the city drops the ball, I'm fucked. That's exactly what she said in the courtroom. I said, I'm thinking it must be, a dropping of the ball or some shit that this happened this way and I am an oddity. How is the brother before me and the sister before me communicating the exact same thing? This is a fucking setup. It is rigged. It is bureaucratic deliberately. It is bureaucratic deliberately to save face. Let us put on a show and display of the wonderful help that we give to these poor indigents that are plaguing our city. Let me tell you something. You know how they disappear 650,000 black people from any the fuck where? Do you know that is only half? 650,000. Do you know that's only half the amount of black people who left the South escaping slavery, escaping during the second migration, Jim Crow to go to the north to work, to leave and go to Oakland and LA to work, it was only about 500,000 Black people in these great migrations throughout the Southeast. Not a city, not a single city, throughout the Southeast. You disappear 650,000 Black people from a city, and everybody is silent and treating the one Black bitch yelling from the rooftops, what you motherfuckers done did with the Black people? What you motherfuckers done did with the Black people? Where the Black people done went to? God damn it. Ain't nobody done picked up and moved and left their house. Ain't nobody just picked up. Crenshaw District, in the year 2000, Crenshaw District was 90% Black. The businesses, Black. The home ownership, Black. That was 20 years ago. That's 25 years ago. Crenshaw District was Black as fuck. Today, it is 32% Black. And everybody just treat that shit like it's normal. Well, I'm going to tell you where the Black people went. I went to that courtroom yesterday, and there was nothing but Black folks and maybe 3 or 4 Mexicans in that goddamn long-ass hallway of people waiting to have their lives tossed out the fucking door. I went down because Skid Row is less than 5 minutes from the courthouse. So that's where they go. As soon as they get tossed out on their ass by the fucking court, they just go right down there to Skid Row and post up until they die. Because that's what happens to them. If you end up on Skid Row, you are going to die. There is no place else for you to go. If you end up on Skid Row, you are there to die. I'm not exaggerating. If you end up, because you can be homeless many places in this city and be, quote, functionally homeless. If you are so down and you are so bad that you end up on Skid Row, you're going to die. You're going to die. And I'm not exaggerating. And when I first moved to LA, when I first came to LA, well, when I came to LA, my homeboy brought me to LA when I turned 38. He brought me out here for my 38th birthday. And when he brought me out here, it did not look like that. I was just 38. Now I moved here when I was 44. So it wasn't that much of a gap between the time that I'd been here. But when we came here, there were no, like, to go to Hollywood, you know, to go to like touristy areas, there were no homeless people just everywhere on the street. You had to go to specific places to find homeless people. There weren't just homeless people on the street. You always knew Skid Row was going to be full of homeless people. And outside of the very touristy areas, like under overpasses, there would be homeless people. But for there to be homeless people on every block, I'm not exaggerating, on every block, on every street, in every district, on every corner, under every bridge, everywhere. It didn't look like that when I moved here 8 years ago. Everywhere. Every square inch of the city covered in the despair of the homeless. Everywhere. And I mean everywhere. I mean, every time somebody comes out here to visit me, they're like, oh my God. I had no idea it was, yes, it is that in your face everywhere. Everywhere except Beverly Hills. Everywhere except Hollywood Hills. But outside of that, everywhere. As a matter of fact, my personal position is everybody in this city need to take bullhorns and mobile systems with microphones and music, that if the people who generate the wealth in the city can't be comfortable, you motherfuckers can't be comfortable either. And just ride through Beverly Hills 24 hours a day. Ride through Hollywood Hills 24 hours a day. Ride through Pacific Palisades. Ride through Santa Monica. Ride through all these bougie ass places that are severed, completely separate from the suffering that they cause in this city. Nobody in this city is homeless because they chose to be. I don't give a fuck how mentally ill they are. Nobody in this city is homeless because they chose to be. Nope. It is because this monstrosity is set up to ensure a certain amount of poverty that in turn ensures a certain amount of influx of federal funds, CBDG funds, community development block grant money is the primary method. The influx of CBDG funds, block grant money, free money that is always allotted to, quote, resolve blight, but never coincidentally resolves blight, because that is the setup. Ask me how I know. I worked in a nonprofit for 13 years. That was the primary thing we were fighting against. Is how it was the despair and the poverty and the lack of economic development in the blackest community in the city of St. Petersburg. But all of these billions of dollars of CBDG funds coming into the city every year never seemed to make its way to the community that the money was coming to resolve. The statistics of our poverty in Southside St. Pete was what gave the city these monies to, quote, resolve those issues, but the issues never were resolved, but St. Pete got prettier and prettier. That's all it did. Everywhere in St. Pete got cuter and cuter. Everybody that goes to St. Pete like, oh my God, it's so cute and artistic. Bitch, that's blood all over the walls. That's blood all over the buildings. There's blood all up in the pavement. So I go down to Skid Row yesterday. When I first moved to here, there were way more white people on Skid Row than there were anybody else. Yep. Historically, there were always more white people on Skid Row. I bet y'all didn't know that. Historically, if there's tons of documentaries on Skid Row, historically, it had been predominantly white, right? And I'm not saying white people deserved it. I'm just saying historically, the majority of people that, and I'm gonna tell you why it was probably majority white. We say that shit all the time in the black community, in the black community and in the Mexican community. That if we have the ability to, black folks, Mexican folks, not only got family, but family take care of you motherfuckers. Auntie so-and-so will let you sleep on her couch for a year until you get your life right. You know, mama so-and-so, uncle so-and-so, cousin so-and-so and them. So that's why even when black people historically in this country were down and out, you just did not see black people living on the street. That shit was an anomaly to see a black homeless person. When I came to LA when I turned 38, my homie brought me out here. Child, to see a Mexican or an Asian homeless person, child, I remember the first time I saw an Asian homeless person. I said, what the fuck? Are they Asian? That shit blew my mind. I'm not being funny. That shit blew my mind. That was 8 years ago. Because Asian people ain't homeless. The fuck you mean some Asian person homeless? Where they people them? Where they family at? Who do this person belong to? Did they just get lost? Who does this person belong to? That shit blew my mind more than anything else was to see that Asian man walking down that goddamn street, obviously out of his mind, bless his heart. I was like, because this shit don't happen. Tell me the last time you saw some Asian homeless person. Any the fuck way. You know what I'm saying? These are cultural, you know, like what you call it? Cultural, like safety nets that all these people of color, no matter how bad shit got with their family, no matter how bad, no matter how much they didn't like this person or that person in their family, that like, nigga, I might not like you, but I ain't gonna let your ass sleep on the motherfucking road nowhere. You might be with that bullshit, but I still will let you, I'll make shift, put up a little something in the garage so you can, and let you come up in here and take a shower and get yourself something to eat, and you can stay in the garage until you get your life right. Cause I ain't gonna have none of my people them on the motherfucking street digging out the garbage can and shit. That was a cultural norm for every last one of these people of color. So the success of white supremacy, the success of the aggressions against people of color can be witnessed in fucking Skid Row. Because for the first time, I told you it's been a long time since I've been to Skid Row. Yesterday when I went to Skid Row, because there was another organization that I was supposed to be trying to hit up for some help. And I'm driving through Skid Row. That's when I made the decision. I was like, you know what? I just have to concede defeat. I drove through Skid Row yesterday. There's always always been more white people than anybody else in Skid Row. I drove through Skid Row, I know 20 minutes just driving road to road because I should have recorded it. I was in utter staggering disbelief. I said, anybody who comes to this city and drives to Skid Row and says that there is not an absolute organized campaign of ethnic cleansing in this city is an opportunistic participant, a parasitic participant in the campaign of ethnic cleansing. Everybody but maybe 5 people in the 20 minutes that I drove through Skid Row, everybody was black. And I said, what the fuck am I looking at? I just volunteered for a year in Skid Row. 2 years ago was the last time I was in Skid Row. Volunteered there for a year. Every day, 5 days a week, 2 to 4 hours a day. Every day for a year. And just 2 years ago when I did that, there wasn't that many goddamn black people in Skid Row living on the road. Yesterday, all I saw was black folks. For 20 minutes, driving block to block, row by row, thousands of black people. Thousands of black people. I ain't see no Mexicans. All I saw was black folks, and I'm not exaggerating, maybe 5 white people. In 20 minutes of driving in Skid Row. I said, I knew I was not losing my goddamn mind. I knew that what was happening to me felt sinister. It felt sinister. It felt like sabotage, because if my rent was just $9,000 in the red, I could have, listen, my mama was just talking about taking out a second mortgage on her house to give me $11,000 with $6,000 from the city so I could stay my landlord. So if I'd have known that back then, I could have just said, mama, look, I got to eat crow. I'm a piece of shit until I find a job that can sustain my goddamn life or find a roommate that can help me. I guess I need that $9,000. I could have bypassed all of this bullshit. Because what happened was when they intervened and then had my landlord pause my portal where I was making monthly payments, I was paying them $1,000, $1,500 a month. I could have continued making payments until I could get in front of my shit, get my mama to help me then with what was just $5,000 in December, and then what became $9,000 when I asked the city for help. You feel me? I could have gotten that shit resolved then, but because they told the court, the court said, okay, well, while y'all in this process, you can't make no payments directly to your landlord. You need to let the process work. Let the organization process the application, this and that, and this and that. And in the meantime, they gonna cover everything that's the back rent. And then you can do the front rent. And then he calls me a month after we get out of court. He said, I got great news. This is in May. I got great news. It looks like we're going to be able to cover the entire amount. I was like, what do you mean the entire amount? I said, y'all are already covering the full 13,000. He said, yeah. He said, but I think you don't have to raise the 7,500. I said, are you kidding? He said, we're going to cover the whole 21,000. It would become 21,000 because from April to last week was the 7,500 of quote coming front rent, since I could not make payments because the court had my landlord pause my portal. That's the only way to pay is through the portal. I was like, so I don't have to figure out how to raise $7,500 in 3 months. It was like, nah, we're going to cover the whole thing. $21,750. I said, oh my God, this is a blessing. This will give me plenty of time to like recover, relax, find consistent work, pimp a resume that I haven't used in fucking 15 years, but whatever, get it out, get myself something consistent. He called me after he told me this. We're going to cover the full 21,000. That's what he said out of his mouth. Then he's going to call me and say, this was maybe 3 weeks later. This is June now. This June. he said, I hate to say this, but we're gonna have to backtrack on what we said. We're gonna cover the 13,000 back rent up to April, and then I'm gonna look for other organizations that can help with the 7,500. You feel me? But I'm pretty confident I can find at least 2,500 extra. So you need to come up with 5,200. I was like, that's fucked. It only leaves me a month. It was actually 6 weeks. It only leaves me 6 weeks. But at least it's not 7,500 that you laying on me after you done told me we can get you to 21,750. I was like, all right, let me go out here and pop some pussy or some shit. Let me go up out here and jump on some pole somewhere or some shit so I can raise $5,200 in less than 6 weeks. You hear what I'm telling you? What was $5,000 because of the city's intervention became $21,750. That's the crisis. I was like, why would I even up until last week, I was like, I said, I hear what you're saying. I said, but what in the, where in the fuck, why would it take all this time to process an application? I've given you all my bank statements. I've given you everything, my goddamn my life insurance policy. You know everything about my motherfucking life. You know more about my life than anybody who's been up inside of me. Okay, you know more about my life than the person who gave birth to me. What the fuck else do y'all need? That from February when I filled out the application to last week, y'all still haven't processed my paperwork? And people, it's the most insane and daunting and emotionally brutal shit I have ever experienced. I have been in jail. I have been arrested. I've been brutalized by men. This is the most emotionally exhausting, deliberately sinister, fucked up, saboteur-ish, foul thing I have ever experienced. They expect me to be out of this apartment tomorrow, which is impossible. It's impossible. It's impossible. So I went yesterday to price pods. How many pods do I need to rent that I don't need to leave the things that I have paid money for? I've spent 6 years building the cutest home for myself, art, and where I don't end up having to do what I did to move out here. I had to give away half what I owned. I had my storage unit. When did I bring my shit out here? 2 years ago. So I had been paying on the storage unit in Florida since 2015. And finally went and got up the money when I went to go help my mama when she got breast cancer. She helped me with the money to finally get my storage unit shipped out here. But I could only afford one pod to have it shipped. Because it was 17, it was 1,700. Was it how much? It was more than that. How much did it cost to ship that shit out here? Yeah, it was about $1,700, $1,900 to ship my storage pod out here. So I could only get one pod because that's a lot of money. That's almost $2,000. So I had to go through my storage unit and figure out what I was willing to give up. What of my life? I was so much beautiful artwork. And I keep saying, damn, I wish I would have kept it. I wish I would have figured out a way to keep it. So much I had to give up. Antique furniture that I loved so much. I know it sounds materialistic, but fuck, I'm a double earth sign. What do y'all expect? I like to live where I live. I'm not one who like to be apartment hopping every couple of years. I like to make a home out of where I live. It's the sturdy foundation that I need as a fucking double earth sign. And so I made a home out of this place. So much so that I went to goddamn Florida to get my whole life and bring it out here. And it was like, no, you can't bring your whole life. Some of this shit you're just gonna have to leave where it is. And the most incredible antique furniture you've ever seen. Artwork that I've had for 20 years. Having to decide what of my life I'm willing to leave behind for somebody else to pick through like it's worth nothing. So I was like, I'm not doing that. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if they have to send the sheriff out here and that motherfucker watch me pack my shit. Y'all gonna give me this time to get my things. I'm not leaving my shit here for you. I'm 50 fucking years old. I'm not starting from scratch again. I done did that too many times. Now, when I was younger, I didn't give a fuck. I'd be like, okay, yeah, I got a lot of shit in here, but you know what? Let me just pack my books. And I have done that so many times when I was young. When I was young, it didn't make me feel no kind of way. I'll be quick to say, you know what? I can replace furniture and be the fuck out. Be out. As long as I got my books, my clothes, my shoes, I can post up somewhere else. Fuck it, let's go. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I had to go price pods yesterday and see how many pods that I could get to secure those things in here that are important to me. Some of the furniture, yeah, I can leave here. Not all of it. I'm not leaving furniture that I love again. I'm not doing that again. I'm not starting the fuck from scratch again. I'm not doing that again. So I was like, all right, what am I willing to part with? And started putting that in one of the rooms. And what is it that there is no negotiating? I'm taking the fuck with me. And how many pods do I need to secure my goddamn life? So, because the pods are $109 a month. And it's cheaper than trying to get a storage unit. And so I was like, all right, so it looked like I'm gonna need about 3 pods, because of course the pods are inconveniently small. Of course, that's why I couldn't bring all my stuff in the first place. I had a small storage unit and still couldn't fit everything that I had in my storage unit in a pod. They're inconveniently small. So I was like, it looks like I'm gonna need three pods in order to secure what's important to me, right? And maybe, and then maybe I can sell some shit. I don't know. But anyway, that's how they strategically, systematically, plus the fact that the city murders Black people like it's nothing, like it's all in a day's work. When I ran Gina Viola's campaign, the statistic for that year for the number of people that died due to homelessness, like that's how they categorize them, the cause of death, homelessness. That year that Gina Viola ran for office, 9,000 people died on the streets of LA from homelessness. 9,000 that year. I said, how is this not a state of emergency? How is this not the leading headline on every paper until it is resolved? How is this allowable? How do people live comfortably in a city where 9,000 human beings die from homelessness a year in this city? How they do that? How y'all motherfuckers sitting up on this mountain comfortable? Talking about Beverly Hills, Hollywood Hills. How y'all just comfortable? Ain't nobody disrupting your life. When I went into the goddamn City Hall yesterday, making the minimal noise I was making, I was like, this don't make no sense. I said, what is this, ethnic cleansing up in this bitch? That's about how loud I was talking. But the sound ricochets, because that building's like 150 years old, and so it just ricochets off concrete. Sounded like I had a microphone up in there. This seemed like ethnic cleansing up in this bitch. How the fuck does something like this happen in a city that generates $86 million a goddamn day? How does this happen? How does this happen? And then I went down to Skid Row yesterday, and I was like, oh, okay. No, I wasn't being metaphorical. This is straight up ethnic cleansing. How do I go to the courthouse, and the only people that I hear their cases, and it's damn near verbatim my case, and then you go into all these spaces with social services, that negress that I saw yesterday at day 4 yesterday at Medi-Cal was the only black face working in the entire building. When I say that, I'm talking about you have to pass 30 people behind booths. She was the only black person in the whole building. The security, everybody was Mexican. When I was running for office, I was like, oh my God, I went to the city, like the city controllers, not the city controller. I went to, I had to go to, whatever, all these places to, administrative offices. What was it? Whatever. I ain't even trying to think that hard. The city and anyway, to go through the process of becoming, qualified to run for mayor. Everybody at every space that I went to for official matters, everybody was Mexican. Not white, not Asian, not black. Everybody in every space was Mexican. Not only Mexican, when I went to that damn Medicaid office, the level of disdain these fucking people had for the people that needed help, the way they talked to people. Oh, I was like, this shit is fucking sick. This shit is an absolute monstrous sickness. It's a sickness, and I'm so overwhelmed. I'm just overwhelmed. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do, because all I see is all my stuff and boxes piled up, and so I got to get the 3 pods. And these 3 Mexicans stopped me yesterday, and they was like, we'll help you. So I gotta pack my stuff, and then they're gonna help me load. They're just gonna do the heavy lifting. They're gonna help me load the stuff and unload the stuff, because I'm renting a U-Haul to take the stuff. I'm not getting the pods delivered here, because that's another dumb amount of money. So I'm renting a U-Haul to pack here, load the U-Haul, drive the U-Haul to where the pods are. Because if you load your own pods on location, it doesn't cost you anything extra. Otherwise, you're having to hire a company where you're hiring for the truck to come and deliver the pod, pick up the pod, and the amount of men that it's going to take to take your shit. Even just thinking about it, I'm just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Now, I'll tell you, the apartment manager, she was like, she said, I'll tell you what, because I was really considering it. But she said, you know what? If you can get a cashier's check for $21,000 for what you owe, I know good and well there ain't no way your landlord is gonna turn you away. If you can get a cashier's check for $21,000, I'm telling you, I'm certain he will renew your lease. I was like, damn. But I couldn't get the $6,000. See how that works? My mom was gonna give me whatever the slack was. But yesterday was Friday. I spent most of the day in court. Called my mama right away. I was like, look, she said, he's saying no right now, but if you can get a cashier's check sent to my credit union, me and my mama share a credit union. If you can get a cashier's check with what I got, once I get the $6,000 and what you got, she said there ain't no way he won't take the cashier's check. I was like, well, fucking let's go. And I went the day before, and they were like, I don't know. But the woman, when I called her after I got out of the Medicaid office, she was like, girl, I'm telling you, the money is there. They put up a fight. That's what they're trained to do. They put up a fight to not disseminate. Because if everybody knew that there's a one-time $6,000 emergency cash assistance that you can get, she said the department would be overrun. So she said they keep that. Can you believe what I'm telling you? This is a woman that works for DPSS. She said they keep that shit under wraps. So you have to fight for it. She said, I'm going to give you a phone number to a guy you need to call directly who works at DPSS. And she said, he is the one that I always send people to because he is masterful about getting them to unhand that shit. I was like, well, why you got to go through that shit if the shit is there to help people? Why you have to do that, right? She's like, baby, I know you're frustrated. She said, but call him right now. I called her. I called him. I left a voicemail. I called him. I left a voicemail. Nothing. So that was it. Yesterday was the last ditch effort to get the $6,000 because my mama said if you can do it before the bank closes, because they want me out on Sunday, not on a weekday. They want me out on Sunday. She said, so it's obvious this is the only time that I can do this. She said, if you can call me before the end of the day, I'll just go ahead and do it. I'll just go ahead and have them take out a loan against my mortgage and get you what you need so you can secure your life. And then we'll talk about after about what it is you need to do moving forward so that you don't end up in no dire straits again at your age. And so I called him. I'd called him the day before. I'd called him because she gave me the number after I left that bullshitting ass office. Called him. No answer, or out of the office. Left a voicemail. Called the next day to follow up. Called because she was like, I'm telling you he can get you that $6,000. I was like, okay. So I didn't focus on nothing else. I was calling, driving around town, calling. Nothing. No call back. Went to the city controller's office. No call back. So I was like, I guess that's it. So if y'all know anybody that can give me a $21,000 check, then I can stay in my home that I love. I love my home so much. I've been stressing literally every day, every single day since December. Not just stressing, frustrated. Like, where is the breakthrough? This doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Where is the breakthrough? I was I think I told y'all in that time between right before the fires and today, I've been hospitalized twice for double pneumonia. You know what I'm saying? Black Swan Dove, what difference does it make what his name was? Are you local, Black Swan Dove? Do you live here in LA? Because you asked me a couple of questions. I was like, well, that's an odd question. Do you live here in LA? Swan Dove? Black Swan Dove? I ain't picking. I'm asking genuinely. Do you live in this city? Do you live in the county? Dr. Floyd, do you have somebody to stay with? Because with love, being on here is not good if you need to figure out how to be safe today. Yeah, I know my life. And no, not yet. No, that's something else I gotta secure. Is I know people that'll let me stay. I'm only gonna be here if I end up without an extra day, then I know what's coming next. I'm only going to be here maybe a week, if that. I'm only going to be here maybe a week, and then I'm going to head back east. I'm going to go to Mississippi first. I got family in Mississippi, and my grandparents' house is still there. My uncles still keep it keep it together in case of emergencies. So I still have to ask. There's certain stipulations. We all got families and crazy family dynamics, but let me read through some of these. Let me read through some of these comments, and then I'm gonna get up off of here. I'm winded. I'm tired. I didn't even want to come up on here just because it hurts to talk. I'm serious. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. Oh, you know what? Let me So I'm a Constance Woo says she had been trying to put my Cashapp in the chat. So I'm gonna do that. And then and that's the other thing. I want to thank you guys so much for the help that you have that the money, the resources, the donations that you guys have helped with. It has made a world of difference, even in making the impossible seem possible. Um, and oh shoot, I will not forget you for it, for real. But it looks like I might end up in Mississippi doing gangsta goddess work. And let's see. So just check the chat. Um, I gotta get this show on the road. And let's see what y'all talking about over here. Somebody asked what's the equivalent for the pods. They're 109. Excuse me, sorry. They're 109 each, and I need 3. And they are 5 by 8. Their size is 5 by 8. They're tiny. They're tiny. That sounds big, but it's not. Like, it's tiny. So but yeah, that's the measurement of them. And that is, and even for those 3, I'm like, okay, because my bed is practically brand new. So I was like, I'm not gonna buy another bed. I'll take my bed, the couch, the love seat I can leave. Yeah, it's just the dining room suit I'll probably have to leave. But yeah, I'm gonna need easily 3 of those, and they can't be more than 2,000 pounds. So you can see why that might be a dilemma with my books. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's see what else y'all talking about. Oh. Oh man. Yeah. So um yeah, Power Kismet. Yo, that's what you worded that perfectly. That's what I feel like. Power Kismet said they collect your paperwork to use for stats and reports to get the funds they won't give you. It's a scam. It's a scam from jump. Yeah, Aunt Jemima said, except in places like China, Japan, especially Gen Z and middle aged people, they made horrible systems to make them homeless. Yeah, I've been hearing about that. Des, desul, Desultory. Oh yeah. Dissolve the community by picking them off one by one. Oh wait, right? Picking everyone off who does things right. I experienced this setup multiple times now. I'm living with my parents while I wait for transitional housing in 6 months. It makes sense because serial killers have patterns of behavior and they're really good at making ghosts out of entire populations. Yo. I was born in Los Angeles in the 90s, and I'm one of the black families that got transferred out of the state. My family that is still there are slowly moving further away from Los Angeles. Yup. Uh, um, Gabrielle says, it's unbelievable. This system is one giant loophole. We live in a world where billionaires have their debts written off while the poorest are forced into debt just to survive. Yeah. um, Yvonne, early's, um, yesterday was the first time that I had kind of conceded that, because people had been asking me. I remember I told y'all I got this friend who was in the military. He was in the Navy. This motherfucker was like black ops, special ops, some shit, turned hippie. He called me. He's in Vietnam now. And he called me last week, as a matter of fact, all out of the blue. And not this past week, the week before I knew this shit was coming down. So actually, in hindsight, it's kind of crazy. He called me week before last, and he was like, "Yo, yo ass still in California?" I was like, "Yes, I'm still in California." He's like, you ain't trying to leave?" I was like, "What's up, man? Like, why you calling me?" I said, "Where you at this time?" Because his ass stay globe trotting. I was like, "Where your ass at this time?" He's like, "Girl," because last time I talked to his ass, he was in Poland. You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Where you at?" He was like, "I'm in Vietnam." I said, "Vietnam? The hell you in Vietnam for?" He is like, "Cause he had just bought a property in Los Angeles, like literally this past year, bought this big property in Desert Hot Springs, this past year." I said, "What happened to your property you were renovating?" He was like, "I sold it." I said, "You just bought it." I said, "What do you mean you sold it?" He was like, he said, "As much as I love California, I just had to concede the writing on the wall." He said, "I had to get the fuck up out of there." He said, "So you still in California?" I was like, "Yeah, you know what? Maybe I should call this motherfucker. Now that maybe I should call this motherfucker." Yo, there's been so much going on. I cannot think clearly. Okay, I'm telling you, I haven't slept more than 2-3 hours a night in so long, in so long. I'm just now thinking about this. He said, I said, "What the hell are you doing in Vietnam?" He said, "I'm buying property." I said, "What?" He said, "I'm buying property." I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "You just bought a property in Desert Hot Springs that you just told me 2 months ago you renovating." He was like, "Baby, I'm trying to tell you that I had to concede." He said, "I saw the writing on the wall. This retired black ops naval operator, operative. I saw the writings on the wall." And he said, "I made a decision. I had to be the fuck up out of here." Because he had been globetrotting for a long time. He had been on the road for a long time. Since last, as a matter of fact, the first time we talked after he left the country was last August. He left in August, and for 6 months, he was just jumping from country to country to country. And then he came back. His mom lives in Pennsylvania. He came back to hang out with his mom for a while. And while he was here, while he was in Pennsylvania, he's like, "Fuck it, let me go back to California." He's the one that I told you we were doing the retreats out in Desert Hot Springs on the big land that I wanted so bad. And he was in litigation with them, his partners, on the big property. And in the meantime, he bought a smaller property in Desert Hot Springs, not far from it. He's like, "Yeah, you can come down here anytime. You're going to love it. It's not as dope as the big one." He's like, "But you're going to love it." So that was the last time I talked to him since he gotten back, was when he was telling me about this property that he had just acquired in Desert Hot Springs. And then the next time I talked to him was last week before this bullshit went down, talking about why you still in California. I was like, "Man, come on with that." You feel me? Whatever. Because a lot of people have been telling me that, calling me from back home. "Why you still in California? You ready to leave California yet?" And even now in this crisis, no, I'm not ready to leave California. I love this fucking state. I stayed for a reason. I never thought I would love living here. I never thought I would love California. I've lost so much hair in the last week. I have lost so much hair. Do you want me to show you how much hair I've lost? I was just thinking about it because another lock broke off. Show you how much hair. This is just in the last week. Look at how much Look at my hair. Look at all my hair. They're just popping off like they're hanging on by. This has never happened this way. I told you I got a bunch of my locks just because over time it was happening. This is all in the last week. This is all in the last week. I was up in here crying a few days ago. I was like, at this rate, I'll fucking be bald headed by the end of the month. This is just over the last week. I was just sitting here like, oh my God, every time I would do like this, a fucking lock would come off. Are you seeing this shit? Anyway, so yeah, I guess I'm glad I did this live so I could talk out loud. I told y'all I'll be reasoning shit different when I'm talking out loud because I just thought about him. He is in the process of buying this beachfront property in Vietnam. He said, and I thought he was crazy. I thought he was crazy because you know what he told me? I don't even think I told y'all this story. He called me. It was early over here. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. I was like, what the fuck is Dave calling for? He was like, I'm in Vietnam trying to buy this property. It's a beachfront property. And it's small. He said it's small, like a little, it's a little house, like a little bungalow. But the property in front, the beach, you can see the beach from the front of the property. He said, I got this idea to do like this kind of mini retreat where you can come and, get wellness services. He said, and I'm gonna buy goats. I said, what do goats have to do with a wellness retreat, bro? He was like, because he said, everybody in Vietnam has goats. And he said, they treat their goats like family members, and the goats just the tourists will come and they'll like pet the goats and play with the goats, and people will pay the people to play with their goats. I said, what in the hell? And y'all know I'm obsessed. I was like, oh my God, goats, a goat retreat? That sounds amazing. So he was like, girl, he said, when I started seeing all these damn goats, he's like, I instantly thought about you. He's like, I got to get Cassandra out here. He said, I know her ass ain't trying to leave California, but I gotta tell her anyway. And so he said, I called you because I thought about these damn goats and how every time I see you, your ass is talking about some damn goats. And so Earth Beauty say, with all the black people being gone and being displaced and disappeared, that place is done. That's what I'm feeling. And so I'm sitting here talking to y'all about this dude who called me last week, and I didn't even think about it because I was like, I'm not leaving my apartment. I love my place. I still feel like there's something I was supposed to accomplish here, but I guess I failed. I guess I dropped the boat. I guess I missed the boat, dropped the ball. And so I guess so yesterday was the day that I said, I concede, I give the fuck up. After I got off the phone with my mom, and I never got a call back from this guy about this money, about whether it's even a possibility. After I didn't hear back from him, I was like, I just can't fight it anymore. I cannot fight. I cannot, hope for a miracle, hope for the best, any of that shit. I just have to concede, because now I've done spent 3 days chasing what appears to be a pipe dream of quote, getting help. I kept saying, like, how is the homeless population so bad, even so much worse than it was when I moved here? And they got this organization here called stayhoused.com or stayhoused.org. All of this shit is a fucking runaround, shrouded in bureaucracy and proper process, supposedly to keep those who are facing homelessness from being homeless. It is a monstrosity of epic proportion. And after going through this process this way, I was like, all right, I've been stressing so much, panicking so much. So my behavior has been so out of character for me. It's had me feeling like I got multiple personalities disorder in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and after I called my mom, and after I called this guy several times, because my mom was like, you got a few hours where I can still make it to the credit union and make this happen. So get on the horn, figure out what you can figure out. And if it can work out, I can get you a cashier's check before the end of business on my side of the country. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing, whatever. Been feeling really fucked up and gross about it. Like, I know what my mom lives on, right? So, but I got on the horn, and after, I don't know, maybe 2 hours, I was like, you know what? I fold. I give up. And so, so then I was like, all right, now I got to shift gears. It's inevitable. So now I got to pack. Now I got to figure out how I'm going to secure myself and what I'm going to do afterwards. I was like, all right, well, maybe I'll just put my stuff in storage, and instead of going straight home, there's things that I've wanted to do here that I haven't been able to do. Like, I have family on the side of the country that I still haven't seen because my car, I'm going to have to take a bus home or train home or some shit, because my car, she need a lot of help before she can travel across country again. I done blew the wheels off my car in my travels, you feel me? And so I was like, the only reason I haven't seen any of my family is because my car cannot travel long distances. So I was like, well, trains are very, very cheap out here. Like, if you're staying on this side, like, I can catch a train to Seattle from here. I can catch a train from Seattle to here. I mean, from here to Seattle for $100 one way. You can catch a train to Oregon for about the same, for about $99. And I've got family that I've been wanting to see for a long time out here and I haven't seen my grandma. I only got one living grandparent. She lives about 2.5, 3 hours north of here. So before I leave, I'm like, I got to go see my grandma again. So I was like, maybe I'll stick around for a week or so, 2 weeks, and just stagger a trip up to see my grandma and to see my cousin Leah, and to see my goddaughter. I call her my daughter. She's my baby, but she is the midwife I was telling y'all about. She and her family are in Portland, and maybe I'll just stagger a little trip up the western seaboard, which I haven't seen. I've been saying since I got here, I just wanted to do a road trip up the western seaboard. Maybe it won't be a road trip. Maybe it'll be a train trip, for about a week, and then come back and grab my car and just slowly trek across the country, because I won't be able to blow the road up on my car. My car will make it home. It just won't make it in 3 days. It'll be like, okay, drive for a certain period of time until my car say, okay, I can't go no more, and then post up and then drive the next day for a certain. It'll take me about, I don't know, 7 days to get home. But anyway, yeah. Child, I might be bald headed the next time y'all see me. Oh, but let me tell y'all this one last thing, and then I'm gonna get up off of here. So the homie say, why don't you come to Vietnam? As a matter of fact, I should call him today, because I've also been complaining quite a bit, y'all know, about wanting to get my situation here back to a stable place, so that it being stabilized here, I can start traveling again, because I haven't been out of the country since 2008. And I was like, it's well overdue for me to start traveling again, but I can't do that until my income is back in a place where I can be gone. Rehomed Storm, so I don't have to worry about cat sitters and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, it's time for me to travel. But I like to travel where I know that I have a home, a sturdy foundation that I'm coming to. So that's what I was working on, but that ain't the case no more. So now I'm like, damn, maybe this is the opportunity for me to travel. Just put my shit up in storage and start globetrotting. I ain't got nothing holding me down now. That's for goddamn sure. No job, no home. Maybe this is oh yeah, telling me you keep wanting to travel, but you want to hold on to shit. But like, nobody else has to do that. You know what I'm saying? Rich people, crack loose. They ain't got to do that. They ain't got to say, okay, you can either have a place to live or you can travel. They ain't got to do that. You feel me? And that's just crazy how my locks have thinned out so bad over such a short period of time. I'm gonna be bald headed the next time y'all see me. But anyway, so maybe I need to call this dude today and be like, yo, I'm gonna book myself a ticket after I get my shit in storage. I'm gonna book myself a ticket to goddamn Vietnam. Let's see. I was like, yeah, maybe that's what I need to do instead of tucking my tail between my legs and running home like I have done so many times. And thank God I have a home I can run home to. My mama love me. My mama give a damn about my life. And so, and a lot of people don't have that. My mama give a damn, even at 50, my mama give a damn about my life. And you know, I can feel her disappointment, but she gives a fuck about my life. And I be telling y'all, like, I feel like that's the reason I have the mama that I have. That's the reason that I have the mama that I have, is so because I'm still building what I'm building. Is not like this ain't changed shit for me in my head about what it is I've set out to build. It hasn't. So it just means that the nature of it, the presentation of it, the place of it just has to change. I guess that's some shit I need to do while I'm here. Is oh, Janet Kennedy, that's so generous. Wow. That's amazing. I love y'all so much. Earth Beauty, Jessica, Jerome, thank y'all all so much. My mom was saying the same thing yesterday. She was like, stop saying you failed or stop saying you're a failure. I didn't say I'm a failure. I said I failed. That's two different things. And, you know, sometimes you have to take a failure to reassess and reevaluate your course of action. That shit don't make me feel demoralized. So don't let it make y'all feel demoralized. I didn't say I'm a failure. I said I concede that I have failed. That's two different things that I am saying. You understand? So but yeah, I'm gonna call old boy, because maybe I need to take a trip to Vietnam, god damn it. Oh yeah, Earth Beauty says you'll probably be able to hear the voice of our great mother better out in Vietnam anyway. I accept that. Maybe it's the noise of this city because it's gotten really gruesome. The city that I moved to in 2018 is not the city that I live in. Something has happened here. And it's palpable and it's concerning. But the city that I moved to, LA, is not the city that I live in. It is not. Something has deliberate. And I just heard this video the other day that was saying that everybody talks about how progressive LA is, or how progressive California is. I have to see if I can find this video and post it in my community section on my YouTube. But this dude did this whole breakdown about how over the last 4 years, the state of California has secretly become red. He said most people think that California is a blue state. He said as of today, California is a red state. The majority of the counties in the city are run by by red representatives, mayors, city council, that type of shit. He said hidden in plain sight without anybody even noticing. And he showed I guess like the map of the state, the congressional maps or the district maps of the state. And he said without anybody even noticing, the state of California in the last 4 years has become a red state. I said, oh my God. I said, maybe it is time to go. Maybe it is. Maybe it is time to leave. And they just built the. That was what he started talking about. Was they just built the largest. This is what he called it. The largest prison. What did he say? The largest. What did he call it? I think he called it a prison warehouse or something like that. He said they just built the largest supermax in the whole country right outside of Los Angeles County. Right outside of Los Angeles County is the largest supermax in the entire country. And he said the reason for the building of this supermax was to make way for what is about the legislation that's already passed in the state of California and in other states, but particularly in the state of California, this legislation to start criminalizing the homeless. So that's why the homeless population didn't turn black in what you call it, in Skid Row. The whole homeless population in Skid Row is black. I've never seen it that black. The whole homeless population in Skid Row is black. Is black. And next thing you know, they talking about building the largest supermax in the country so that they can start, because your Negress mayor then already co-signed on criminal punishment for, quote, the homeless who refuse the city's help. That's the language. For homeless people that refuse the city's help, the next course of action is for you to be criminalized. It will be a criminal offense to be homeless. When we have all of these dynamic resources set aside to help you, why would anybody refuse the help that the city is trying to give them? So after I done told you these stories of what I done experienced, what I done witnessed over the last several days, people begging and pleading, how can you do this? How can you do this? My landlord said, what did they say? They said, based on what the representative told me in court, told them in court, that this money will be here come July. We took a chance because we know, this is what the landlord said, we know how flimsy Los Angeles rental assistance is. My landlord told me that the reason they were refusing to take what do they call it? What do they call that shit? A promissory note for the amount is because we still have in our possession promissory notes for back rent from COVID, from 2020 to 2024. We still have promissory notes from this city, my landlord. So we ain't taking no more. I feel for you. We don't work with you as much as we can. My landlord said they failed you. I can't believe they failed. She's still texting me up until yesterday. I'm so sorry. My landlord told me, I wish I could come and help you pack. I wish I could come and help you. I can't believe they failed you like that. You want me to read the text my landlord sent me? My landlord. So it ain't like, it ain't like they haven't been graceful, helpful as much as they can be, having not gotten paid. What'd she say? Where this text at? This is what my landlord sent me. She says, this is a quote. I am so sorry. I hate to see anyone in this position. Honestly, I have tears in my eyes. They have failed you. I understand. I have no choice. You have to be out by Sunday. I wish I could help you pack, but I am in trouble myself. Thank you. Let me know when I can come pick up the keys on Sunday. I wish you good luck, and I hope that things work out on your behalf. That's what my landlord sent me. That's what my landlord sent me. The woman I told you I share a name with her. Her name is Faye. My middle name is Faye. She said, really? I said, yeah. I hear you, Vayoni, but I'm just telling you, my landlord sent me this. You feel me? I feel you on that 1,000%. But as landlords go, and the kind of landlords I've had in the past, that's the other reason I was like, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't never had no problem in this place. Something break, in 24 hours it is repaired without hesitation. All I got to do is send a text. My shit fucked up. And within 24 hours, somebody is at my door to fix my shit. As landlords go, this was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And for that woman, because she had every right to be upset. When we went to court, that shit was manageable. Y'all do the thing. They said it was going to take 3 to 4 weeks to process the application. 6 months? 6 months. Y'all still holding on to my application. She said, they said 3 to 4 weeks to process the application, and we'll have the full amount. Not only the back rent that she owes up until this court date here in April, but everything that she will owe up until we come to court again on the 10th. We got it. $21,750. That's what it'll be after May, June, and July. That's what it'll be. We got it. So now it's not manageable. Now I would literally have to find some fucking rich benefactor to come in and rescue me for this not to be my reality. She said, I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they did that to you. And then listening to these other people yesterday in that courtroom say the exact same thing happened to them, while this fucking mayor is talking about all the wonderful work we've done to get people off of the street, while this same city allowed landlords to file 159,000 eviction notices in a single year. Last year, 159,000 eviction notices were served. 79,000 of them were successful, were complete. So how there are only 65,000 homeless people on the street when y'all evicted 79,000 people last year? No, but I'm crazy when I say these motherfuckers done strategically, systematically, sinisterly, just below the surface, literally exploited everybody's general hatred of black skinned people in this city to disappear 650,000 people, knowing nobody would say a word. That's what happened. That's what happened. That's what happened. They knew everybody in this city hate black skinned people except that one best friend Negro they got personally. Black skin hatred, anti-blackness in this city is so real and so pervasive that they could literally erase 650,000 black people off the streets of LA, and knew that nobody would say a word, knew that nobody would make a declaration of a genocidal assault on the most marginalized community in the city. They knew you would all be quiet. They knew you would all comply. As long as we got our one best black friend, our one black lover, we all right. That's just enough black folks for us. Yes, it's literally genocide. Now I'm gonna go, and I will do probably a little short a little later, just to let y'all know that I'm still alive and kicking. And if anybody's in the Los Angeles area, oh, hey, Angelica, that's my homie right there. You know what? I guess I should say one more thing. I guess I should read that conspiracy I wrote the other day. Let me tell you how I wrote the conspiracy. I sent it to the majority of y'all. If you haven't received the new conspiracy I wrote, just email me at EvoEmeTemp@gmail.com. EvoEmeTemp@gmail.com. I was standing in that line for 4 hours in the hot ass sun. That is such a crime. Oh my God, it's such a crime. standing out in that hot ass sun for 3.5 hours, waiting to go into that office for them to tell me, to play in my face, I'm like, we don't know what you're talking about, no money. I waited in that line outside the building for 3.5 hours. Once I got inside, where there was all them empty seats that all them people standing outside in the hot ass sun could have been inside taking a seat, I still waited another 45 minutes before I saw anybody face to face. And while I was standing outside in that hot ass line is when I wrote that conspiracy. Just on my phone, picking away. That conspiracy that I emailed you guys, that's when I wrote it. Was standing outside, and that it was 100 degrees. The heat index was 100 degrees. My feet still hurt because the tops of my feet felt like they were on fire. They were burning. My feet are sunburnt. Like they literally hurt on the tops where the sun, because I just had on flip-flops. They literally hurt right now. I was putting aloe on them all day yesterday, all day the day before, because the sun was beating down on my damn feet while standing out in that line for 3 hours waiting to get in to get seen. I didn't leave there. I got there at 12:35, that office. I got there at 12:45. I didn't leave until 5:45. You hear what I'm saying? For them to tell me, we don't know what you're talking about, no $6,000 for emergency housing security. For me to get on the phone with the DPSS woman who said, they lying, Cassandra. I work for DPSS. They are trained to not disseminate that. I said, are you serious? She said, I'm trying to tell you. She said, I work for the state. She said, that money is there. She said, but they are not readily telling people that money is available, because imagine everybody that's in the line outside know that there's $6,000 that they can use just one time if they're on Medi-Cal to secure their housing. She said, that's all people would be up in here for. She said, that's why they do that. She said, now I'm going to give you the name of the person in the department you need to speak to directly, and give him my name so that he knows who it was that referred you, who works at the other office across from town from him. So anyway, while I was in that line, that's when I scripted the new conspiracy for you guys. And I wanted to say, yes, I scripted it. It's actually my homie on here, Angelica. She we were talking, and she got a witchy mouth. I'm telling you, this girl mouth is so witchy. It's like everything she speak, it fall out her mouth. Like it materializes that fast. Every time she open her mouth, whatever she open, it just fall out of her mouth in real time. Like this shit happens so fast. I can tell y'all crazy story after crazy story after crazy story about this girl's witchy ass mouth. I was like, I need my name in your witchy ass mouth, bitch. She up on here. I was like, I need my name in your witchy ass mouth, bitch. Like stat, like ASAP. This girl, I done seen some crazy ass shit. She done told me some crazy ass stories. I've been telling this girl she was a witch since the day we met. You feel me? So anyway, when I got off the phone with her, that's when I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and write something I've been saying, but I had been so like completely unmotivated, unable to concentrate, focus on anything. I said, while I ain't got no choice but be standing in this dumbass line for 3.5 hours, let me type up something. And I didn't know where it was going to start. I was just like, right. And so I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to get up off of here. And those of you who don't have it but want it, send me an email at EvoEmeTemp@gmail.com. And so send me an email saying you want the new conspiracy. And the other thing, I love you too, Angelica. And I saw your post this morning about so apparently this Mexican man here in the city, ICE just murdered him, just shot him. They were like, oops, we had the wrong guy, father, husband, on his way to work, and just shot him, killed him. took him to the hospital and reported him as a John Doe. So the family didn't even get a call about him. They learned about his death on social media this week. They learned about his death on social media. So Angelica was the one that sent that to me today, which is, this shit is just fucking crazy. Anyway, what I was gonna say is while obviously I wrote this conspiracy out of a place of immediate need, I also want to say that just like the last conspiracy we scripted together, after I am in the clear, or hell, even while I'm going through it, tailor it how you see fit. Remove my name and put your name or whoever else name who needs the conspiracy. You feel me? So where did I put it? Oh, here it is. All right. So let me find. I think I left my ancestor staff in the car. So find a noisemaker, whatever. Our little homemade noisemakers that I did for the little thing. So I said in the beginning, beat the ground or ring bells or make noise while speaking. Call your ancestors' names to assist in the sacred conspiracy. So I call the name of Marguerite Cook, Faye Floyd Senior, Faye Floyd Jr., Faye Floyd III, Stephen Ray Floyd, Nigel Floyd, Michael Floyd, Marguerite Cook, Matthew Cook, Timothy Ray Caston, DeAndre Michael Miller. I can't. Let's see who else. Richard Floyd. I call to the space now to assist in this sacred assignment. We, Mommy's divine children, open this sacred conspiracy on behalf of our sister Seer Rest, Cassandra Faye Floyd, born 9/14/1975, eldest daughter of Jacqueline Jeanette Cook and Stephen Ray Floyd, mighty lions, both are Leos. We call on the mighty power of the ancient crone goddesses and ancestresses of all time to focus their sights on our sister Seer Rest, Cassandra Faye Floyd. Mommy and I are one, thus we all are one. Our collective will is her absolute protection, prosperity, and rock-solid foundation. And because we know that her desires are in alignment with the needs of the world and the one, we speak in one voice as a singular mind and a united will that Cassandra Faye Floyd's life and destiny will forever unfold with absolute ease and certainty, as mathematically certain as the seasons, as the harvest, as the water, and as the universe. Mommy and I are one, thus we all are one. We, creator mothers and grandmothers, open our mouths wide to speak a tidal wave of blessings and bounty over Cassandra Faye Floyd's life and head. She now knows only liberation. She lives with the memory and freedom of playing joyfully and fearlessly as it was when she was a baby under her mother's ever watchful eye of protection and love. Mommy and I are one, thus we all are one. We, all our mothers, divine children, conspire together today to forever speak life, love, joy, and abundance over Cassandra Faye Floyd and her entire lineage, all the way back to the one. We also speak the same for everyone in her life and everyone who has ever helped her. We speak their immediate prosperity multiplied by infinity. Mommy and I are one, thus we all are one. Now, we speak specific needs with our whole, I guess I need to edit that. Specific needs with our whole heart and open throat. Cassandra's home is secured now. A minimum of $25,000 required now to secure her home and life. And we will it and more. Right now from multiple timelines, dimensions, benefactors, and the immediate return of the wealth of all of her ancestors all the way back to the first of her lines. Mommy and I are one, thus we all are one. Right now, All locks are broken, all boundaries are dissolved, all illusions are revealed, all things hidden and secrets kept are exposed as the night reveals the truth of our mother bot, Het Heru, Hathor, Isis. The cool of the night sky saves, the night sky reveals, the night sky heals. Mommy and I are one, thus we all are one. This conspiracy that we speak together today on our sister Ciaresa's behalf is the turning point in the success of we, the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. We, the Mother's divine children, declare this is our time. This is our hour. This is our moment. And we willed it now on Cassandra's behalf, on our collective behalf, and on behalf of the whole healed world. It is certainly as we say, in all timelines and dimensions, and on all timelines and in every dimension, forever and ever. Yes, yes, yes. See, see, see. Mommy and I are one, thus we all are one. Mommy and I are one, thus we all are one. Mommy and I are one, thus we all are one. I say, oh. So I told you I sent it to y'all unedited. I sent it to y'all just as I typed it out, standing in that hot ass line for 3.5 hours. So I can see I had a couple of edits I need to make, but you get the drift. So thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. And I am gonna go ahead and get to this overwhelming and daunting task. And I'll check in with you guys a little later, just to let you know how it's going. Yeah, y'all are so wonderful. I love y'all. I got chills everywhere. All right, so I appreciate you. I'm gonna see y'all later. I'm gonna get some things cracking. If anybody is in the Los Angeles area and is interested in helping me load some pack some boxes, I'm open to that assistance. So, y'all have my email address, EvoEmeTemp @gmail.com. And also, there are a few of you who have my direct phone number. So if you have an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours to contribute to my maniacal boxing session over the next 2 days, who was supposed to be meeting tomorrow? Earth Beauty, what you talking about? I came in late. Will we still meet tomorrow? I'm sorry. I can't. I don't know what you're talking about. Email me because I don't know what you're talking about. It may be a commitment that I made, not knowing that this thing was going to be happening this weekend. So just email me so I can be brought back into the fray about what it is I'm missing. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. Oh, no. I wasn't saying this Sunday. I was saying a week from tomorrow. Did I say a week from tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow is the 12th. Yes, I was saying a week from tomorrow. Earth Beauty 01. Yeah, a week from tomorrow. So what she was asking about was it's so ironic that I am teaching a workshop called Protect Your Heart to Secure Your Sovereignty as this thing is happening. So it may be next Sunday. That was the plan when I sent the email out to those of you who paid for the workshop. Was the last date for the 19th. But let me see how my life is in the midst of this, because it may be a little later. It may be the end of the month. All right. But I still got y'all, and I'll still send y'all some things that I wanted to send you from the last workshop. All right. Okay, you guys. I'll see you guys later. All right. Peace.